All right, let's talk about one of the biggest line items in any international sales budget, the trade fair. We're going to dive in and figure out how to transform that huge expense into your most powerful strategic investment. Essentially, we're building a playbook for getting the maximum return.
So, let's start with the question that I know keeps every sales manager and senior leader up at night after a big event. Was it actually worth it? You spend a small fortune on flights, hotels, that fancy booth space, but are you really seeing a clear, measurable return on all that investment?
Let's just throw a number out there. Maybe you've run the numbers and figured out that each lead from a trade fair costs your company about 400 euros. Now, most people look at that and just see a cost, but we're here to flip that thinking on its head. See, this isn't an expense. It's the down payment on a solid strategy. It's the first investment in a playbook that can guarantee a serious return from every single trade event you attend.
Okay, so here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with the high-stakes reality of these trade fairs, and then we'll jump into a winning blueprint for preparation. From there, we'll cover execution on the floor, how to navigate tricky cultural dynamics, and the absolutely critical follow-up. And to wrap it all up, we'll zoom out and look at the strategic ROI from a leadership perspective. So, let's dive into that first section, the high-stakes fair. The sheer cost of these international events, it demands so much more than just, showing up and hoping for the best. It absolutely requires a strategic approach to turn that massive expense into a profitable investment.
You know the story, right? For so many companies, trade fairs feel like this necessary evil, a huge hit to the budget with these fuzzy, really hard to measure outcomes. Well, the whole point of this explainer is to give you the tools you need to completely flip that narrative.
And here's the real secret. Your success at a trade fair isn't decided on the showroom floor. No way. It's decided weeks, sometimes even months before your team ever sets foot in that convention center. It is all about the prep work. Okay, sales managers, listen up. This is your actionable pre-show training plan. Number 1, master the core message. It needs to be second nature, not some robotic script. 2, conquer those public speaking fears, because confidence is what closes deals. 3, rehearse the entire meeting, not just the pitch. I'm talking from the handshake all the way to the final questions. And finally, number 4, craft a killer 10-minute presentation that absolutely everyone on the team can deliver flawlessly on a dime.
Now, let's see how all that prep work pays off where it counts the most, during the event itself. This part is all about mastering that on-site engagement and truly owning your presence on the floor.
So much is said without a single word being spoken. On the left, you've got the deal killer, arms crossed, avoiding eye contact, maybe glancing at their phone, just looking totally distracted. But on the right, that's the deal maker, open posture, confident, and actively listening. That nonverbal stuff, it can make or break a crucial first impression in seconds.
And it's a two-way street. It's not just about how you present yourself, it's about what you can read in your potential customers. Understanding their nonverbal cues gives you a massive advantage in any negotiation. It's kind of like the unspoken dialogue of business. Right, so when you're at an international trade fair, you're not just crossing a time zone, you're crossing into entirely new cultures. And in global business, let me tell you, understanding those cultures isn't some soft skill, it's a fundamental competency for success, period. This is the core of what we're talking about. Cultural competence. It's this skill of not just knowing people are different, but really understanding how they're different, and then adapting your approach to build trust and actually communicate effectively. And this is where simple mistakes can have really big consequences. For example, being too direct in a culture that values subtlety, you might come off as aggressive. Using slang that you think is cool and friendly, it could just sound unprofessional. And flat out ignoring local customs, well, that just screams disrespect. The better approach always is to do your homework. Research, observe, and adapt. It shows you value them and their partnership.
Okay, this next point is absolutely crucial. The trade show doesn't end when they turn the lights off on the final day. In fact, the most important work is just getting started, the follow-up. That's where you turn those conversations into actual contracts. That's where the ROI is made.
So here's your playbook for turning that stack of business cards into closed deals. First, don't just send a generic copy-paste email. Personalize it. Reference something specific you talked about at the booth. Second, propose a clear, actionable next step. Not just, let's connect, but how about a 15-minute demo next Tuesday? And finally, do it fast. Speed shows you're professional and it keeps the momentum going. And, beyond that direct follow-up, you have to use digital tools to keep these new connections warm. LinkedIn is absolutely perfect for this. Connect with everyone you met, share some relevant insights to stay on their radar, and use the platform to keep building those professional ties. It's basically the modern-day extension of the trade show floor.
Okay, let's zoom out now to the C-suite perspective. For senior leadership, it's not just about the ROI of one single event. It's about the long-term strategic value that these events bring to the entire organization.
A really successful trade show strategy isn't just one thing. It's a combination of all these key pillars. It boosts sales and negotiation skills, it enhances your team's communication, expands your professional network, and improves cultural competence. All of these things work together to maximize that overall return on investment.
And here's the really big picture. When your team excels on that international stage, they're not just repping your company, they're representing your country's brand. A professional, culturally savvy, and effective team elevates how the world sees your entire nation as a business partner. And that has this powerful compounding effect on your reputation for years to come.
So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. After the booth is packed up and everyone's flown home, what is the story that people are telling about you? Is it a story about a professional, prepared, and globally minded organization? Or is it about a company that was just there?
Look, everything we've covered today is part of a much bigger, comprehensive framework. This whole explainer is based on the 15-hour Mastering International Trade Events course from eBSI Export Academy. So if you're ready to stop treating trade fairs like an expense and start building your own winning playbook for global success, you should join the course today.